Yes, this is a hardcore grind interview with the dynamic Mikey J. Welcome, Mikey J. You have had an incredible career spanning multiple creative fields. I thank you for being able to come and hang out with us on today.
Well, first off, I am so glad to be here on the phone, about to enjoy this interview. So thank you for having me.
So appreciate you. Now, I like to go back. I always like to talk about a goal moment. And I think goal
Yeah.
moments are very important because we never move our feet right away. It's not until our thoughts and our movement come together for us to make the moves that we need to make. Most of the time, we're mindful about other people, what they do, how they do, and when they do. But when we
Yeah.
deal with ourselves, we deal with lack and fear a lot of times. How did it all begin for you? What was that moment that everything started and you decided to go into music?
Oh, wow. Wow. I haven't heard that question in a long time. Well, it started for me in all truth, in all honesty and transparency, to go full-fledged into music, or what
Just
inspired me to.
move your feet. What was that moment that inspired you to move your feet?
Oh, well, what inspired me to move my feet into music was growing up in my old neighborhood, where Fat Joe hails from, Diamond D, Digging in the Crates, Lord Finesse, Showbiz, and all of them, Coco from SWV. It's like a big sis to me, and so many others who came out of my projects. And that was the inspiration right there. And me as a little kid running around, trying to see what they were doing and be nosy. Coco singing, Fat Joe doing what he's doing, Diamond D and all them. I decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I was break dancing. I was rapping the best way I can because none of us really knew what we were doing back then except for trying to put some words together. So I would never say, oh, I was the nicest or I was the dopest. Nah, I was just an average young kid bringing out linoleum or cardboard with a few of my friends, um, Raheem, rest in peace, Kiani, who's still out here, and Niger and Keith, whom both of them just passed away. And we was just doing it. We was going to different neighborhoods, break dancing, rapping, but Keith and Niger was more the rappers, where I was like following suit behind them. And you fast forward to 1998 when I first met who I'm with today, Bella Ray. 2 years later, she found out what I was really doing in the street, and that was the last time that I was ever involved in any illegal activity, let's say in the street, because she had bore witness to something she never should have seen. And that was the last day that I did anything illegal in the streets, and that was the first day that I stated to her, I'm going full-fledged with the music. And it took me 3 months to get another conversation out of her, but she saw the seriousness in it. And all these years later, man, it's where I'm at today on a totem pole. It's a blessing.
That is amazing because you've done so much in music. You've been nominated for multiple Grammys. What does that recognition mean to you personally and professionally?
I never asked, nor did I ever look to be recognized and or acknowledged for any of my musical contributions to the music industry. I'm just in love with the culture. I'm just in love with music, period. Growing up with my mom, she listened to everything. Doo-wop, Motown, rock, pop, reggae, you name it. So growing up in a cultivated household like that, it just opened me up to so many different genres of music that when it was my time to become a producer and a rapper, I was a very eclectic artist. So nowadays, even being nominated for the Grammys and um, afforded different music awards by different other musical entities is just a blessing. And to just have those and to be acknowledged and recognized for my musical contribution and my musical works, I would have to say I really owe it all to my mom for opening me up to being um, unbiased to non-black music. Because when I say non-black music, I mean white Americans, the white American culture, the European culture, who were musicians as well, like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, all who openly admitted as well black music and black culture influenced them.
Mm-hmm.
Blues, rhythm, R&B music, country music was all influenced by black Americans. Some white Americans admit that, some don't. But to those who do, thank you for the recognition. So when it comes to me and the recognition that I received, I just owe it all to the Most High and Yahshua and to everyone who supported every part of music that I've ever done for anyone else or even myself. So the recognition is just a blessing. It's God sent. It's God given. And it will never be taken for granted. And I will always pass the recognition on and pay it forward.
I love it. Now, how do you approach the songwriting and producing process? Do you have a specific routine or a set of practices that you do when it's time for you to get into your creative mode?
You know, I've been through a lot in life. I've been through a lot. I've been homeless many times over. I've been homeless with money, homeless without. I done been shot 4 times. Wasn't for me. It was a random shooting against some other people, and they just had a shootout, and I got hit 4 times. I done been through 2 car windshields. I done been through heartache, pain, trials and tribulations, ups and downs. And my music is a reflection of that. I don't embellish any of the illegal things of narcotics dealing or selling. I don't embellish in that, any illicit activity. But I do embellish what I've been through life so that my story can be an empowering story and an uplifting story for any and everyone else that's out there who are afraid and or ashamed of telling their story. So hopefully my music resonates with them to the point of, if he can put this out there, then so can I. You know, if he can openly admit that, you know, he knew of God, but he didn't know God, that'll inspire me to become the same, you know? So my music, my inspirations come from everyday life of myself or things that I've seen or witnessed, observed. From my music production is the same. I speak from my heart. My heart actually speaks from my mind. Some people are backwards with it. You know, they think of things in their mind, but my music flows from my heart. So that's why it's melodic. It flows so effortlessly throughout someone's bloodstream, and I'm just proud that I can be an inspiration and allow my music to be what it is to this day.
I love it. Now, in 2023, you received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award for rapper, actor, producer, and director. What was that moment like for you?
Oh man. Oh man. It was weird. It was really weird because I look back at my past, coming from the street, everything I've been through, and then I had to realize that society doesn't make a decision of where you're at in your life. They don't make the decision where you're going to be going. It's up to you to rectify your wrongs, rectify anything that you felt was unsavory or not worthy of praise, so to speak. So when I got honored, I'm like, is this for the right person? That was the first thing I said. And I always stated, it's not what someone has done 10 or 15, 20 years ago. It's what they've done 10, 15, 20 years later. And when I was very open to accepting it right after I made that determination of I would never allow society to make, break, or determine who I am in this country or in this world. And I want to thank I definitely have to thank Dr. Reba Perry Renee and her daughter Ifele, because it was them who put my name in the hat. It was them who recognized me, and that's just a blessing. It's an honor, and it felt really weird. It felt really weird, especially when they put the medal around my neck, and then they put the pin on my jacket. The lapel of my blazer, and when they presented me with my billfold. But they also, the same night, they presented Bella Ray with the same Lifetime Achievement Award, because they asked me who else do I feel is deserving of this type of recognition, because they will, just like you, be in the archives of the White House, and it goes in the history books. And I said, the same person that's been with me when I was out there feeding the homeless, doing toy drives, school supply drives, and much more for the community, Bella Ray. And I also mentioned Mickey Benson for the work that he's done with his people, and him being my first manager, along with Fat Joe, Big Pun, Remy Marr, Tony Sunshine, and a few others. So it was just an honor, a blessing, and I'm grateful. And I definitely will never take it for granted, and I hold that title at the high regard.
Absolutely amazing. Now, a lot going on in the industry. How do you feel about the music industry? How do you feel it has changed since the first time you started? And how do you adapt to the new changes in the trends in the industry itself?
Well, what I feel about the music industry now? The music industry has gotten worse for the most part. And when I say it's gotten worse, I don't just mean business-wise, because business-wise, they still follow the same model of ripping artists off. Now, thank God, thank the Most High, I've never been an artist who fell into that trap of recoupment or falling for a 360 deal. Thank God I had the right temperament, the right knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the business of the music industry. It's a very, very, what's what I'm looking for? The music industry is a topsy-turvy industry. It has its good, and it has its bad. Depending on which route you're looking to go, that's the route that you will end up on. And I've never went towards the darkness. Let's just put it that way. I've always stayed in the light. And when you have darkness surrounding you, once you enter that field or that energy, that's what's going to be following you. And a lot of the artists nowadays, they would rather put out the niggerish music, the music that's going to keep our people programmed to the nonsense. We will forever stay programmed to calling black and brown women out of their names, because that's the culture, allegedly. We will forever talk about killing our fellow black and brown man, even our Latino man, because that's the culture that they want. We will forever not pay it forward or be positively spiritual because that's what the culture wants. That's what the programming is. So until these artists nowadays are deprogrammed from that programming, it will be a forever cycle of a program that will be hard to deprogram.
Mm.
So
now, what music, is it? Oh, go ahead.
So the music will forever be the same, sound the same, look the same, taste the same, smell the same. It won't change. The only artist that I have to give, I'm not going to pinpoint one particular artist, but there's a few artists out there that's putting out some great content. October London, Chris Brown, and many others like them. But then you have these other artists that will never gain respect from me because they know what they're doing. They know what they're putting out. And they don't care about nothing except the bag. They don't care about the young princesses who should be growing up to be great queens and or kings, because you have women who were kings in Africa, but that's a whole different conversation. So when you have these sexy reds out here and these people putting out this kind of music, it's going to be a hard process to try to deprogram even our young babies.
Mm. Now, what is the best advice you've received, and who gave it to you?
Get out your way. You're blocking your blessings. And it's hard to pick somebody because I've been told that by a lot of people. But I would say, Bella Ray. Bella Ray is one of them. My cousin Chaz Green. Fat Joe. My cousin Percy. My cousin Amar. Mickey Benson. Flex Cabrera, a.k.a. Scorpio. Angel Cartagena, which is Fat Joe's brother. And quite a few other people. Lewis Gordon. I mean, this is during my come up. And even some not this year, I'll say a few years back. Wilhelmina Ham, we call her Miss Willie. You know, she became my godmother. So there's quite a few people who are part of my life that told me to get out of my way and blocking my blessings.
Mm. That is amazing.
At the end of the day, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, you can be as ignorant as you claim to be. I'm sorry, you can be as ignorant as you claim to be, but you're really not ignorant. The only ignorance, I believe in two types of ignorance. And the first form of ignorance is the lack of education and knowledge and wisdom. And the cultivated comprehension of yourself and life. The other form of ignorance is blatant. It's just blatant ignorance that you know you're doing right. You know you're doing wrong. You know good from bad. You know right from wrong. You know what you should and shouldn't be doing, but you're too ignorant not to stop. It's blatant. And I didn't want to be blatant. So I just thank everyone that was in my ear, and there was probably more people that was in my ear. I want to thank all the people that was in my ear because it's because of them that I'm on the level where I'm at now. As an artist, it feels good to be on the totem pole when your name is mentioned amongst the greats, you know, of music. And I'm looking for that for my film career as well, as an actor, writer, director, and a producer. So
absolutely, that is amazing. We have to have that. That people like that around us are a necessity in our growth. So I'm so glad that you have that. Now you talk about movies. How did you transition from rapping and music production into acting and directing films? What was the motivation for that change?
So the irony behind all of that, I was always a director of content. All my music videos, with the exception of Stupid Fresh, that was directed by Emo Haley Rice and Malik Bowie of BET. And every other music video I directed, I produced, I put it together. So I always wanted, since I was a youngin', I always wanted to direct movies. But you never know what your path, what God has planned for you. So me, as a little kid, I'm playing with G.I. Joes and Transformers and acting like I'm building movie sets with them, and that's where it started for me, to be honest with you, when I was a kid, when I was a youngin'. So fast forward years later, it came into fruition with me directing my music videos, but I didn't really even look at it like that at first. All my music videos are very cinematic. Very cinematic. But I didn't look at it like, wow, I'm actually directing. I'm like, I'm doing my music video. I never say I'm directing. I'm like, I'm about to do my music video. And I never looked at it like that. And when I look at it in 2024 and how I got here it wasn't even about a transition. It's just something that's always been in my heart. Always been a passion of mine to put out Superman or Star Wars or something like that, or so the transition was really easy because I was already doing music videos, doing other people's music videos, but I had to learn the difference of shooting style and editing when it came to music videos and cinema. Music videos are fast-paced. Cinema is slow-paced. Different type of editing, different type of shot. And that's where I had to learn the transition right there to differentiate the two. And that's what made it easy for me to go from the musical artist to the film producer, the director, and all that. So that's what made the transition easy. It was about differentiating the two.
Absolutely. Now, you're currently filming. Let's talk about your new project. Tell us a little bit about it.
So I have a new television series. It's called TONY, Top of New York, a Michael Stephen Paul crime series. And it's basically about everything that New York, especially the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Harlem, even Queens, is about. And that real life, even Staten Island, that real life street culture of hustling. It's nowhere near the embellishment that Power gives you. Power is very embellished on New York drug culture. If I can get away with the things they get away with in Power in 2024, I wouldn't be on the phone with you right now. I'd probably be out there hustling. But it's just so, it's more of an entertainment piece for me with Power. And that's what separates TONY from Power. TONY is more of an engagement piece of real life street culture and nothing being embellished, from the dialogue to the attire to the vehicles being driven to NYPD and how some of them act and how some of them treat you and this, that, and third. So TONY is definitely a series that if you was a fan of The Wire, if you're a fan of Chicago PD, New York Undercover, or even NYPD Blue, you're definitely going to be a fan. And I'm praying that people become a fan of TONY.
I love it, and I'm excited for you because I always see you work so very hard on your films. You try to put out the best content that you can put out, and I love that for you. Now, how do you see your career and you personally and brand-wise? How do you see everything evolving over the years coming up?
It was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster. I'm glad it evolved to where it evolved now. It was a roller coaster because you have entities and or people out there who seek your demise, people who seek your downfall. They don't want to see you evolve. They don't want to see you come up. And for the Most High and Yahshua to allow me to blossom and flourish to where I'm at now, even amongst so-called enemies and Satan and everything that they were trying to do to me to block my blessings or take me out of here. I gotta really say that I am so thankful and blessed that I'm able to say that the evolution of Mikey J, Michael Stephen Paul, it's been a great process. It's been a learning process. It's been a blessed process that I will never take for granted, ever. So the evolution to evolve to where I'm at now, spiritually, mentally, culturally, it's just been great. Even through it all, at the end of the day, I will never cut off my nose to spite my face. The process of evolving, it's just been great.
I love it. Now, what advice would you give aspiring artists and filmmakers who look up to you? How do you hope to inspire the future generations through your work as well?
Wow. I wouldn't say I would give them advice. I would give them some words of encouragement. And I would encourage them to never, ever allow a naysayer, a disbeliever, or a hater to take their power. Never give anyone your power. Never allow anyone to test your faith, give up your faith. Never allow anyone to come into your circle with negative energy, negative thoughts. There's no negativity allowed in your circle. Always say positive. One no will turn into 100 yeses. Always just stay focused and just stay on track and allow the process to work itself. Allow the process to work itself. Be patient. Don't look for a payday right away. It'll take anywhere from 3 to 5 years, maybe longer. If you're in this for money, definitely get a job or maintain the job you have. Because a payday is not going to be just right away. And if it is, that's a blessing to you, and don't take it for granted. But always pray. Keep the Most High Yahshua and your family, your immediate family who supports you through it all, right there with you.
I love it. And how do you hope to inspire future generations through your work?
Just by continuously putting out the content that I can put out, speaking engagements, forums, panels, anywhere where they would want me to speak at to keep the encouragement and the inspiration in people. I've been to different film festivals where people don't speak inspiration. They just speak how much they want out of people, or me, I speak inspiration. I tell an actor in a minute, don't put your face in front of just anyone's camera. So don't compromise your morals, your integrity, or your values for anyone. If the role doesn't fit you, the role doesn't fit you. Don't force it. If there's a particular scene you don't want to do, don't do it. Even if it's going to cost you the role, walk away. So that's what I want them to look at and take from me. Integrity, morals, values, respect, dedication, and love for the culture.
I love it. I love it. Now, what's next? What's next for your brand?
Wow. I got some new singles out. I got new music I'm putting out. I'm going on a music tour. I got a new album coming out called Homage. But most importantly, I also got so we got TONY coming out 2024. Early fall, or late summer, early fall. I got my movie Colorblind coming out this year. He's in Cuffs, the movie, which is my franchise, coming out this year. And my Christmas film, A Christmas Lost, A Christmas Found. A Christmas Lost, A Christmas Found, coming out this year as well. And in the near future, I will be filming 9 of my other productions in 2025 and 2026. And as long as God allows me to keep continuously doing what I'm doing, then you could definitely expect more from me.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best. I thank you. You've always supported me in everything that I've done. And I want to say I thank you so very much. Thank you for making time for me on today, because I know you have a busy day. Before you go, I want you to let everyone know where they can listen to your music and follow your journey as well as your movies.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you and your subscribers, your viewers, your listeners, and everything. So they can definitely go to my YouTube channel, check out my trailers, behind the scenes of anything that I've done, which is AIGN, like Nancy, AFG, AIGNE space AFG. That's the YouTube channel for my film company. My music channel is Mikey J TV, and my SoundCloud is Mikey J. And anybody that would like to partake on the journey with me, they can email me at AIGNE filmcasting@yahoo.com, as well as nattywoodfilmcasting@gmail.com. Natty Wood is spelled NATIWOODFILM, casting@gmail.com. And in the subject, they can put attention casting department.
I love it. We thank you for joining us on today. I want you to have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you so much. You too.